Good morning, good morning. 8:01. I don't know why I can't hardly see the screen. I wonder if I got it too dark. Hold on. Yeah, I had it too dark. All right. Greetings. Grand Rising, Rich Rising. Good morning, all the good stuff. Bosco, Christopher, user 1861, blah, blah, blah. Don't come in here acting crazy just because we can't see who you are and you don't have your name on there. All right. This is, let's see, it's Thursday. This is day 4. Is it Thursday, y'all? I think it's Thursday. Yeah, day 4. I've been going live in the mornings, walking and talking to you about the mindset that it takes to live a healthy lifestyle, because I notice a lot of people struggle with that mindset shift. I am Renee Simpson. If you don't know me, I'm a registered dietitian, plant-based chef, positive psychology coach, and hypnotherapist, and I work with people who, well, right now, I do a lot of nutrition coaching, but my business is Well Diva Lifestyle, where I work with women who desire to live happy, healthy, and fly. And that's what we do. We go all over the world on fabulous trips. But when I'm at home, I'm working with women who want to maybe get off of their blood pressure medication, maybe want to better manage their diabetes through diet, learn more about a plant-based diet and how to incorporate that into their lives, or lose weight, deal with the changes that take place in our body during menopause, as most of my clients are women 50 and over. All right. So if you've been missing these sessions all week, you can go over to YouTube to catch the replay. youtube.com/@welldiva. I go over there the day after and put the replay up, so you can catch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday over there. Also, I did a cooking session on Sunday, and there'll be another one coming up this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here. But to catch last week's cooking session, you can go over to YouTube for that as well. Okay. Hello, Tatiana. Do we have anyone that was here earlier in the week? Let me know. Let me know if you have been watching and decided to come back. All right, today I want to talk about self-talk. I don't believe I have touched on that this week. If I have, it was probably brief. Self-talk. Because you got something going on in your head all day, every day. We are thinking. Even when we go to sleep, that brain still has thoughts going through. And throughout the day, it's estimated that we have up to like 70,000 thoughts. And unfortunately, a lot of those are negative. A lot of the thoughts are worries and kind of expectation for the worst, like trying to brace yourself for the worst. But have you ever realized that when you're trying to anticipate what's going to happen, you're worried about something, and you go through this scenario in your mind, have you ever realized that it never, ever, ever plays out like you thought it was going to? Like usually it doesn't. It very rarely plays out like, at least for me, I noticed that. But I think a lot of people have noticed it. If you notice it, if you haven't noticed it, then you probably keep worrying. And you may deal with a lot of anxiety because you're a chronic worrier. But hopefully today you'll start to recognize that and stop trying to anticipate what's going to happen and let that go. Because it's out of your control what's in the future unless you meditate on it. And if you're meditating on something negative, then yeah, you're probably going to get a negative outcome, but still, it's probably not going to come out exactly like you were playing it through in your head. And we're talking about changing your thoughts to something more positive. Okay? Manifestation is a whole nother thing. We can talk about that maybe later. But right now, I really just want to talk about your self-talk and just being more aware of how you're speaking to yourself in your head. I hear people say, I am, and I'm not, I don't even like saying it. I'm not even going to say it, but I'll say they are. People say they are lazy, or they are fat, or they are weak. They're stating what they currently see about themselves. But if you were to say that to a friend, would that be okay? Like, I don't know what makes us think that we can be rude or mean or insensitive to ourselves in ways that we would never be to anyone else. That self-talk, those words that you say in your head, be really mindful of them. If you're not already, be mindful of every word that you say to yourself in your head, even if you don't say it out loud. What you think of yourself is super important. And if you want to make some changes in what you currently see, then start speaking towards what you want to see as opposed to what you currently see. Because if you keep saying the same thing, you're going to get the same thing. Hi, Jennifer and Cheyenne, Tyro. Where are y'all joining me from? I'm talking about self-talk today. And it sure is hot in here. I might go turn the air on. But anyway, yeah, hold on one second. I'm going to go turn the air on because it is hot today. It's supposed to be 91 today. Hold on, let me go turn on my air. I think there's a way to pause the live, but since I don't know that, I didn't do it. But anyway, I'm back. I'm back, y'all. I went to turn on the air for those who just joined me. All right, so anyway, we're talking about self-talk. So if you find yourself saying negative things about yourself, whether it's in your head or out loud, let's start today working on changing that. And that's a habit. That's a lifelong habit. If that's something you do, it's probably not something you just started doing. It's probably lifelong. Let's start working on changing that. How about you get a journal and in the morning, write out how you feel about yourself, how you want to feel about yourself. Now, don't write down the negative. If you write down a negative, that's when you write it all out, tear it out, and burn it. And we're done with that. But write out the positive. Make a list of all the things that you do like about yourself. How about that? What if you were to take a piece of paper or a journal or whatever, sit down and write 50 things that you like about yourself, and do it in the morning? I bet that's going to make you feel so much better and you'll have such a good day. Try it. I used to do that every morning. I'm going to start doing that again. Just writing all the things that you really like about yourself. It starts out kind of easy, and then you start having to think to come up with 50 things. I'm trying to think, when I used to do it, I think I did 20. I can't remember now. But try it. Try writing 50 things that you like about yourself. And see how that changes how you feel. It really elevates your energy or your vibration. If you don't know what I mean by vibration, try it. Write it all out, and you will feel your mood rising and how you feel. Get into the habit of speaking positively about yourself. Okay? Naba, welcome. Juana, welcome. Hello. Cassidy, hi. Thanks for joining me. I'm talking about, hi Mel, talking about self-talk today. All right, so your homework is to write down 50 things that you like about yourself. And if you cannot come up with 50 things, then you start working on yourself to become the person that you like. But I bet you can come up with 50 things. Probably things you didn't even think about. And I'm talking about your personality, not just how you look, but things about your personality, your character, how you treat others, all of that. Not just the cute shoes that you wear and that you're known for. That's not what I'm talking about. Although, yeah, you can definitely put that on the list. And your talents, your skills, your gifts that you share with the world, all of those. Write all those things down. Give yourself credit for that. Pat yourself on the back. And be your own cheerleader. All of these things build your self-confidence. And when you build your self-confidence, it definitely makes it easier for you to make healthy changes, healthy lifestyle changes, because you believe in yourself. Another thing, another way to build your self-confidence is to keep your word to yourself. We're talking about how to make healthy lifestyle changes, and we tell ourselves, hey, I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to get on the treadmill at 8 o'clock. You got to do it. Because if you told your friend, hey, I'm going to meet you on the trail at 8 o'clock, right? And then you just don't show up, right? You just, what? What if you were supposed to meet your friend on the trail and they didn't show up? Would they still be your friend? Like if they repeatedly did you like that, you wouldn't be able to trust them. And that's the same with yourself. So when you give yourself your word, keep your word to yourself, because it improves your relationship with yourself. It builds your self-confidence. It improves how you feel about yourself when you believe in yourself. And then it definitely makes it easier to make those kind of changes. So get in the practice of always keeping your word to yourself. Okay? All right. Hi, Kata Tadashi Pequina. Welcome. And user 8186. Is that the same person? All right. All right, y'all, tap the screen if you can hear me. Let me see those hearts. Just tap the screen a couple times so I know you're here. Okay. All right, so the next thing is, how do you identify? We're talking about what it takes to have the mindset to live a healthy lifestyle. Maybe that's something new for you, or maybe you want to make some changes. A lot of us were not necessarily raised in a household where a healthy lifestyle was the priority. A lot of us were raised in a household where donuts were the priority. I know that was the case in my house. And I'm Gen X. I don't know about y'all, but I'm Gen X. And I remember the stories of my mom talking about the donuts. The donut shop used to call our house at 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning to tell my mother that the donuts were hot and ready. This probably was before Krispy Kreme. At this time, we were living in Texas. So I don't know what, I think it was Winchell's or Dunkin' back then. They would call our house at 4 in the morning. She would get out of her bed and go get a couple dozen donuts. One for her and my dad, and one for the 3 kids whenever we did get up. Oh, you saw these on Temu? Oh, honey, you didn't see these on Temu, but you saw a copy of them. But yeah, so you can imagine this was not a health-focused household that I grew up in. And it was years later, after my mother struggled to lose weight over the years. My dad struggled to lose weight. And years later, my mother ended up seeing a nutritionist who really changed her life and ultimately changed all of our lives, because we saw what my mother was doing and how she was losing weight and how she was getting healthier. Her energy increased. And we started to follow in her footsteps. So I was blessed to have that foundation. But yeah, I still get off track because that sweet tooth was implanted in me from the beginning. So occasionally, yeah, I'll get off track, but I get back on. So just want to talk to those who maybe didn't grow up with that healthy lifestyle, and you may struggle with how to make those changes, because people ask me a lot. I hear, how do you just like eating healthy? And healthy food can taste good. It's got to taste good. That's one thing about it. I don't believe in just making myself eat something just because it's healthy. I don't do that. That's something me and my daughter always say in our household. Was that worth the chew? Because if it's healthy or not, it needs to taste really good for me to be bothered with it. Otherwise, it's not worth the calories. It's not worth the suffering if it's just healthy and don't taste good. Okay, so the next thing I was going to talk about was, how do you identify if you are making changes to live a healthy lifestyle and you're still identifying as, and I'm not saying I am, like I told y'all, I don't want to put those words in it, so I'm going to say you are. And I'm not going to speak that over y'all. I'm going to say they are. Talking about the person who is still speaking in the way that they used to. If a person says they are fat, if a person says they are unhealthy, you don't want to keep speaking that. You don't want to identify that. Then you start doing the behaviors that help you identify as the opposite. Every time you make a choice to do something. Thank you for the likes, Nina. Thank you. Hi, Shelly. So, for example, I wake up and, okay, do I want to just go and have a pastry? Or do I want to have a protein smoothie with some leafy greens in it? Well, how do I identify? I identify as somebody healthy. I identify as someone who's taking care of their body. I identify as someone who feeds their body what's best for them. Okay, so which choice am I going to make? Am I going to go and enjoy the pastry, or am I going to have the smoothie with leafy green vegetables in it? I'm going to have the smoothie because I identify as the person who does that, who lives the lifestyle. All of it is a lifestyle. Every choice you make throughout the day is creating a new lifestyle or sustaining your old lifestyle. So how are you identifying? These are the things you have to think about when you are working to create a new healthy lifestyle. So it's not just I'm going to count my calories, but it's what am I choosing to put in my body all day long, every choice that I'm making. And it's okay if you make a wrong choice. Just keep thinking about the next choice you're going to make so that you don't keep making the wrong choices. Got to kind of keep those choices in the forefront of your mind. Thank you, Nina. Hello, Triple C. Welcome. We're talking about self-talk today and how do you identify? Do you identify as someone who is healthy or not? Do you identify as someone who lives a healthy lifestyle or someone who does not? All the choices that you make throughout the day will determine which way you identify. So how do you make that change? You think about that right before you put that donut in your mouth, right before you accept that chicken wing that somebody offered you, right before you get into that luncheon at work where they're giving us pepperoni pizza. Okay, well, how are you identifying? Are you identifying as this overweight person that you don't want to be anymore? Are you going to keep identifying as that? If so, you identify as big back. If so, go ahead and get the pizza. Get as much as you can. It's free. But if you identify as someone who has made some changes, living a healthy lifestyle, hey, I'm slimming down. It's going to be my hot girl summer. I'm finally getting this weight off. I'm keeping my blood sugar right where it needs to be. I'm getting off these medications. If you identify with that person, then you got to do the behavior that that person would do. So thank you, but no thank you to all the greasy pepperoni pizza. Because like I said yesterday, it's not free. You're going to pay for it in one way or the other. It's going to be on your mind. You're going to be feeling guilty later. Maybe you're going to have indigestion later. Or you're going to see it on your scale. Or it's going to raise your blood sugar. And then you got to take some other medications. But one way or the other, you're going to pay for it. So please stop just eating food because it's free. And another thing, stop eating food just because it's in the refrigerator and you don't want it to go bad. And it's leading you to overeating. Eating the food that the kids left on their plate. But it's leading you to overeating. You, repeat after me, y'all. I am not a garbage can. I am not a garbage can. Okay? So you should not be eating food to keep it from going in the garbage. If this food was being considered as garbage before you came along with your mouth and your stomach, it's still garbage. So just let it go. The extra food that was left over at the office, they had the meeting and they got a whole pizza left. And you had some healthy food at home that you already cooked. But you saw free and grabbed that pizza and took it home. Put it in the fridge because you're going to eat your healthy food, right? Then you see the pizza. I don't want to throw it away. And then you eat it. No, you can't save food from the garbage can with your stomach. You can't do that. You are not a garbage can. You just can't do that. Let it go. Okay? All right. Nina, thank you. And to Pink, welcome. I'm actually getting ready to wrap it up, but I was talking about self-talk today. How do you talk to yourself? And how do you identify? What are the behaviors that you're doing? And how do you identify? Are you doing the behaviors that help you identify with a healthy lifestyle? Are you doing behaviors that help you to stay as a big back? If that's not what you want, then you need to change those behaviors. I remember last summer, I told y'all yesterday about that piece of cake place. And you probably hear me talk about that place a lot. Oh, so no, this was a different one. I'm in the Atlanta area. Y'all know Piece of Cake, right? Well, somebody told me about another place. I was at the airport and I was dropping my daughter at the airport. And I was in the airport. And, you know, I wasn't flying, so I couldn't go through a certain gate. So I asked one of the I guess you call it gate agent. I asked her where was Piece of Cake, because I knew it was at the airport. And my thing now, I used to, when I first moved back to Georgia, I used to go to Piece of Cake all the time. And I was like putting on Piece of Cake. Wait. So I was like, okay, why don't I limit Piece of Cake to when I'm, you know, near a piece of cake, then I could go in there. So I was at the airport. I was like, okay, Piece of Cake, I need to get me my slice, my strawberry cake. And I go to the gate agent and I ask her which gate. And she said, oh, it's back in gate C or something. She's like, you can't come in if you don't have a boarding pass. And I was like, well, look at God, because I don't have no boarding pass and I'm being blocked from getting this cake. So, you know, good. So then she says, well, actually, you should go to Sammy Cheesecake. And I said, what? And she was like, yeah, go to Sammy Cheesecake. And I was like, no, I don't eat cheesecake. I just like the strawberry layer cake that Piece of Cake has. So I'm thinking I'm off the hook. I don't need to get the cake. She's like, oh, Sammy Cheesecake has strawberry layer cake. Hi, Rose. Hi, Moo Moo. And I was like, they do? I was like, but it's not as good as Piece of Cake. She said, girl, it's better. And it's black owned. So I was like, all right. I was like, this ain't nothing but the devil. But I'm going to go over here and check it out. You know, I'll just go do a quality check. So I go over there and find out that it is indeed, very, very good. So this becomes my new cake place because it's a little closer to me. And so one day, I'm going back over to this freaking Sammy Cheesecake place. And y'all, I'm not lying. The whole time I was driving over there, I kept hearing that Big Back song. Big back, big back, big back, big back. Like the song was in my head. And the closer I got to the place, the louder the song got. And I'm trying to ignore it, you know, and I'm just driving. Big back, big back. So I get to the Sammy Cheesecake place. And I get in line and I'm just hearing the song, and then they're like, you know, how can I help you? And I'm like, can I get a slice of strawberry cake? We are out of strawberry cake. See, it wasn't meant to be. So then I'm like, well, I think I asked for like strawberry lemonade cake. We out of that too. So then I asked for the German chocolate. Because I'm like, I drove all the way over here. I'm not leaving without something. So they gave me the German chocolate and I'm driving home. And in true Big Back fashion, I'm opening it up, trying to eat it on the freeway. Can't wait till I get home. You know, they give you a fork because they know you greedy. So I'm digging into this cake. And y'all, I was so disappointed. Not to say it's not good, but I know what I wanted. And I'm a baker, so I know my German chocolate cake. So I was like, I just wasn't happy with it. And that song would not leave me alone, that Big Back song. When I got home, I threw that whole cake in the trash. not a whole cake, but that whole, they give you 2 slices too, y'all. Not give, because you know ain't nothing free. They sell you 2 slices of cake. When you only bought 1, you only wanted 1. You're getting 2 slices. And I threw the whole thing away because it wasn't, like I say, worth the chew. It just wasn't worth all those calories to me. It just wasn't, like I wasn't completely in love with it. And that Big Back song was so loud in my head. And I believe that was my spirit trying to tell me, this is Big Back behavior. Do you identify as a Big Back? If so, go ahead, enjoy your cake. But if you're trying to identify as someone who is on a weight loss journey and eating healthy, slimming down, taking care of yourself, then you need to not do that. You need to find something else to eat. So that was the last time I went there that summer. And I got control after that. I was like, let's not get in the habit of going from piece of cake to Sammy cheesecake, because that's a lateral move. Had to get some control, y'all, and do the behaviors that align with where I want to be in life. Okay. Hi, Josh. Hi, GC. All right. Let's see. And looks like nah. And Just a Boy and Kitty. Welcome, 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 welcome. Y'all, I'm headed out now, though. I don't see any comments or anything. Any questions about what I'm talking about? Can you hear me? Tap the screen if you can hear me. I know Nina heard me good. Thank you, Nina. All right, y'all, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm trying to get 40 minutes because that's like 2,000 steps. Is anybody walking with me? I might be on the, I might get outside next week. No, because it's supposed to rain. One of these days I want to get outside, but it's so hot. In the mornings even. All right, so your homework, for those who missed it, write down 50 things that you like about yourself. It may take a minute to get 50, but you can do it. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Regina. Regina George at that. All right, so write down 50 things that you like about yourself. Take a few minutes to do that. And do it in the morning if you can, so that it really sets the tone for your day. You will leave that house or get on that Zoom call feeling so elevated. And don't let nobody pull you down, because when people come at you with negativity, people say, oh, I match energy. Don't do that, because that's you letting them pull you down to their level. Let that junk roll right on off. Let them cut up and act the fool by themselves. Don't let them pull you down, because they're pulling your positive energy in exchange for their toxic energy. Don't let them do that. Every time you encounter somebody, it's an energy exchange. So don't, be on your high horse and be happy and proud of yourself and confident. And when you encounter somebody who's not, they're going to automatically try to pull you to their level. Don't do that. You let them pull you down, then they coming up, because they're happy. They've succeeded. Now you have exchanged. Talking about I match energy. No, you have given up your good energy. Hi, Sabine. Thank you. You feel me? Hey, Tori Beth. You coming in on the end, girl. Hello, Prophetess Mari. And it's a L Monster. Okay. Good morning. Fit and trim. Oh, y'all coming in at the end. I'm trying to walk out the door, but I was just saying, for those who just came in, Everest, welcome. I was just saying to write down 50 things that you like about yourself. That's your homework for today, y'all. 50 things. Okay? And I was giving some examples. So you might start with how cute you dress, but you want to get deeper than that. You might start with physical things. I like my hair. I like my eyes. I have gorgeous long eyelashes. I love those. But you also want to get a little deeper than that. I like the way I cook. I like the way I make others feel when they come to my home. I like how friendly I am. I like my laugh. I like my voice. I like my wisdom. I like that I have good habits. I like that it's easy for me to form good habits. Whatever, any and everything you can think about. Think of that you like about yourself. Because we spend way too much time focused on what we don't like, our shortcomings, what we don't have, our insecurities. You know how many people walk around insecure? You can get over that by focusing on what you do have, what your blessings are, what your gifts are. And roll with that all day. Start with that in the morning, with that nice long list of what you like and love about yourself. Start with that in the morning, and that'll put you on such a high. And I was saying, let that high carry you through the day. And don't let that toxic person who can't stand themselves pull you down, because they're going to feel your positive energy that's vibrating from you. They're going to feel that, and they're going to try to pull you down. So don't come back with the I match energy stuff and let them pull you down. That's what I was saying before y'all came in. Okay? All right, y'all. It's getting hot in here, and I done turned the air on. And it's warm in here. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up for today. If you missed any of the sessions, I've been on here every morning since Monday. If you missed any of those, go over to youtube.com/@welldiva and watch them there. And I post them the next day. And if you'd like some affirmations, today we were talking about self-talk. If you need some affirmations for weight loss, because a lot of my clients are trying to lose weight, go on stan.store/welldiva. You should see the link in my bio for that. And there is a list of affirmations for weight loss and a few other things. There's a couple of freebies there. Go and grab those. And I will see you tomorrow, okay? We talk about how are you identifying, what behaviors are you doing. I had the thought this morning to choose 2 different behaviors. Can I lay in this bed and just tell them people I didn't have Wi-Fi today? Or do I go ahead on and get up and get on this treadmill and turn on my camera like I said I would do? Well, I said I would do it. And this is the behavior of someone who is on a health journey. So let me go ahead on and do that behavior. And let me keep my word to myself, which builds my confidence, which makes it easier for me to do these behaviors day after day. All right? I hope you learned something valuable today, and I'll see you tomorrow.